Is there any way that we can adjust our microphones?
No, I'll stand up.
Are you going to stand up? Okay.
Yeah, I can stand up.
All right.
I can stand up long enough to... And you know, I don't need a microphone. I project!
Don't need microphones.
Somebody was actually just right before this press conference started was saying to me that I was abrasive, but in a good way. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm abrasive, all right. I'm about to be abrasive. Thank you. Thanks to Stacy for doing an excellent job putting all this together. You know, I think the metaphor of herding cats is hideously overused, and it's kind of stupid at this point, but you know, I've been trying to get a bunch of lawyers together to do anything. It's a tough job, and she did a fine job of it. My name is, as Stacy says, William B. Turner. I'm an attorney at law. Law degree from the University of Wisconsin. I also have a PhD in U.S. history, by the way. I'd like to point that out. And this new policy is, frankly, it's stupid. It's just stupid. It's also patently unconstitutional. Even the revised version is slightly improved. The revised version did make specific exceptions for families and tourist groups to be able to come to the Capitol in groups of more than 4 to protest, not to protest, but to visit without protesting, presumably. But that begs the question, you show up on a visit and you're all wearing your, just a visit, and you're all wearing your Recall Walker t-shirts, does that make it a protest? You know, and specific problems that you have, the Supreme Court has specifically and explicitly recognized certain places as public forums, and they say if it's a public forum, then we're going to look with severe disfavor on any attempts to restrict the use of the place. And you know, I mean, I was thinking, okay, except for the U.S. Capitol, where else in there, any place else in the United States, especially Wisconsin, there's no place that more embodies a public forum than this building and its grounds. I mean, this is the ultimate public forum for Wisconsinites. So the Supreme Court is going to look very, very carefully at this attempt to restrict access to it. Then there's also the problem with the amount of leeway this policy gives to the police. Yes, that is said, the new policy says in the vast majority of instances there probably will not be any charges, but still it's open-ended. You don't know until after, you know, so you show up with your rally and the Capitol Police, don't get me started on the Capitol Police, will suddenly decide, oh, well, we need to send 12 officers out there and you're going to have to pay for it. Well, as my esteemed colleague Steve Porter, another local attorney, pointed out, we've already paid for this. It's called taxes. You know, hello, we don't have to pay. We shouldn't have to pay twice. We pay our taxes, and our tax money funds this beautiful building and funds the Capitol Police. We shouldn't have to pay again. I think we also, the other sort of background point I want to make about this is we should regard these the capital access policies in conjunction with the statute, the voter ID statute, which was ACLU has also already filed suit against, because between the voter ID law and the capital access policy, it's very hard to avoid the conclusion that essentially what Scott Walker is trying to do is wall himself off completely from the people of Wisconsin. No, sorry, it doesn't work that way. We call this a republic, and we call it a republic because the people we elect, well, I mean, I didn't elect them. The people, the majority of the people in the state elected and are apparently now realizing their mistake. You know, you don't wall yourself off from us. We get to talk to you, and you get to listen to us. And you know, so especially when we see police officers literally picking people up and carrying them out of the House galleries just for wearing signs depicting parts of the state constitution on their clothing, for you know, taking pictures. They're taking pictures of the state assembly. You better haul them out. I mean, this is ridiculous. And you're going to let these people decide who gets to protest? This is clearly an attempt to forestall the kind of protest that occurred last February, which is, I mean, talk about dumb. So imagine we fill the entire Capitol Square up again with people. Let's do that. Let's do it again, just for fun. I've decided we're going to wait until it snows, because apparently Wisconsinites only like to protest in the snow. You know, I don't like the cold, but anyway. So, well, once there's snow on the ground and everybody decides to come back and protest again, so imagine the Capitol Square filled with people who already was back in February. What are they going to do? I mean, they can't arrest everybody. And so, who are they going to send the bill to? Most of those protests were entirely spontaneous. You know, what? It's just ridiculous. So, and I want to go back to something that Representative Taylor, I think, put the point very well. Again, I want to emphasize the point that this is plainly a public forum, and the Supreme Court will regard it, and we will certainly point out that it's a public forum in court if and when we decide to file suit against these these silly policies. And the Supreme Court will regard it as a public forum, and they will look with very extremely skeptical eye on these policies, and we believe that they are in fact unconstitutional and stupid. So, thank you.